Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At cprfirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Callan Cash Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at cprfirm.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my two books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs and on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here. We are here. December the 5th, Thursday. Hope everybody had a good Thursday so far today. Yesterday after we finished the stream, I was looking at some of the comments from the yesterday's stream that we conducted at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And a lot of people was basically amening a lot of the things I was saying about the job. Because look, y'all, I've been through it. And then I remember when I was talking to some brothers and sisters in South Africa that work for the folks, right? And they were literally saying the exact same things that we experience here in America. That's why I told y'all, it don't matter where them people at, they the same everywhere they go, right? So, hey, it's unfortunate we all can connect on those experiences. That's black people for sure. I know South Africans can because they got white folks over there running things in a way, right? Especially with those jobs and stuff like that. So yeah, man, the best way we can do is just get out of underneath them and do our own thing like our ancestors was doing. When people talk about the story of black Americans and like, oh, black Americans don't have this and black Americans don't have that. And I always stop somebody and say, wait a minute, hold on. And then when they love to try to compare us as black Americans to other groups, these other groups, when they come in America, they do this and they do that. And, they have their families and they have this and that and the third. And then what you need to do is stop people when they're talking like that. Act like, well, y'all been in America for hundreds of years. And how come these people that just came here yesterday got above you? If the other immigrants that come in here, if their families were targeted like ours were, like if they mass incarcerated their men, if they had their men on trees, if they bombed their synagogues or their mosque or their any kind of temples that they have, right? If they did that, when they build up, let's say Chinatown, and then they go in there and burn it down. They didn't build another Chinatown, they burn it down. Or what about if they have a East Indian neighborhood and the folks just go run in there and start terrorizing and dropping bombs on them and literally running them out of all their homes and businesses that they created, and they running away, and then the white folks go take all their stuff, right? And every time black folks try to do something good for ourselves, here come them. No other group in this country have dealt with that much sabotage and still dealing with sabotage to this day. This is why, black people, stop comparing yourself to any other group, even if they are in the diaspora too, because they have not been here long enough to even go through what we went through or continuing to deal with what we're dealing with. These people that immigrate to this country, that's why I'm a little bit more hardcore about these immigrants now, is that they came after the blood was shed. They came after the people were taken off of the trees. They came after the rights were given, right? I'm gonna say a little bit of rights. So do not sit up here and compare yourself, your family structure, or anything to other groups, because other groups don't deal with anything. The worst thing they got to deal with when they come here is if they came here illegally, they get kicked out. That's the worst they're gonna deal with here in this country. Oh, well, they got racism against them. They chose to come here. And they can choose to leave at any time. So I don't want to hear that. You chose to come deal with some racism. In your country, you probably have to deal with no racism, right? Anyway, just want to put that out there because people don't want to tell the full history of what happened to black Americans. They always want to talk about, no other group has had a crack epidemic happen specifically to them. They're not going to drop guns in their communities in the middle of the night, coming in on trains and all of that, and giving a criminal element weapons that they could never get because they couldn't purchase these weapons or get access to them. They don't do that. They have never done that to other groups. They have never mass incarcerated other groups of men like they've done to black men, right? So just don't ever get caught up on that comparing yourself. Even the Bible teaches that do not compare one with another because you don't have the same story, Just want to say that, because sometimes maybe some people need to hear that. Because one thing I get tired of, some black people want to get on here, well, black people, why don't you be like the white people? Why don't you be like you got Caribbean people come in here and Africans come in here. Well, Caribbeans and Africans haven't had their families targeted for destruction. So yes, they gonna come in here with 2-parent households, right? Black Americans had 2-parent households too. A lot of these other countries haven't had feminism thrown at them, just literally breaking the family up with feminism. They haven't had no-fault divorce, breaking the family that way, right? They don't have these draconian child support laws or spouse support laws, or they don't have none of that in a lot of these other countries. So that's what I'm saying, don't compare yourself and don't even let nobody compare you. Because, even if they come over here, well, how come we do better than you because you went through nothing? Just tell them like that because you ain't been through nothing. I've been through a lot in my country. I suffered. You've been through economic problems. No, the police in my country, but it's still your country, though. It's still your country. You haven't been through nothing here. I don't know what you dealt with over there. I ain't had nothing to do with that anyway. You ain't been through nothing here. So don't come tell me about how good you got it here and you was here for 5 years and you got this and that and the third. If they left us the hell alone, we'll be fine too, right? Just like you. If they left our families alone, if they didn't mass incarcerate our people, if they didn't go bomb our black Wall Streets, if they didn't go massacre our towns and go put a lake over it, right? Lake Lanier, which is cursed. It's going to continue to be cursed, right? No other group has dealt with that. So don't let nobody come in this country trying to put you down saying, well, how come this and that and how come I was here and how come this and that third. Because let me tell you something about these people that come here, all of them. If America started to treat them like they treat us, all of them are self-deporting themselves. They'll start deporting themselves back to their homeland. They will not endure what we have endured in this nation, okay? So I just want to let y'all know that. Just I don't know why I felt to tell y'all that, but just a reminder. And I'm seeing some crying online right now. Oh boy, some crying. I was seeing on TikTok one woman talking about a DACA recipient. Boy, she was crying. Oh boy, she was scared about DACA and he gonna come after DACA. Oh boy, they are crying. I'm like, wow. Oh well. Ain't not a problem. All right, so tonight we will be talking about. I forgot to add something on there. Hold on, gotta be down. I forgot one thing. I know it may not make sense to y'all, but it's just my perfectionist in me, I guess. Okay, cool. So we're gonna talk about your boy Eric Adams tonight. I gotta clear the air about Eric Adams before I do that, and we also got your girl. I want to play a few minutes of your girl, Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard. She did a short press conference, and Tiffany is not happy, y'all. Now, you know that Tiffany is not going to be put on the ballot in Thornton Township. And yes, Sister Tiffany there, she's not a happy camper. And so let's get into it. Let's get into it. Yeah, you may say the devotional, whatever you want to call it, but let's get into Tiffany. Hold on. Let's get a few minutes of Tiffany.
Well, yeah, I'm going to just start with the caucus. So just so you know, this is strictly about the caucus. It's not about anything else. So if I decline to answer, I'm strictly talking about the caucus at this moment. And then y'all will get more interviews out of me. As long as y'all good to me, I'll be good to you. I have no issues. I just wanted people to say my side of the story and not just paint me as bad news, because it's not the truth. And y'all been witnessing it yourselves at the caucus. So that's kind of what's going on and been going on. So I pray that you pay attention to other people's I don't want to say drama, but situations.
Was it rigged? I mean, what happened Tuesday night?
Yes, it's election rigging at its finest. So we got there at about 4:30. Some got there right before 5. When we tried to enter into the building, they told us we cannot come in because they had a party going on at 5 o'clock. Residents from throughout Thornton Township showed up in drones. We had buses out there, cars. You know, it was super cold. I know I ran into you outside, and I was out there with them. They didn't even let me in. So when I did try to go in originally around 5, they told me they had a party and we cannot enter into the building. I asked, can you please let the residents inside the building? They said, no, they have a party. I said, but this is our residents. Let them in. They said, no, they did not register for the party. I felt that was so disheartening because at the end of the day, this is somebody's mom, auntie, cousin, uncle. You should let them in. It was cold outside, super cold. So I had a problem with that.
Was your name ever on the ballot? Did they ever actually, say Tiffany Henyard and they vote on it, or no?
No one had the opportunity to basically be a nominee, and that's where they messed up at. You're supposed to allow anybody that wants to run for office the opportunity to nominate themselves, let alone a slate, let alone anybody in the room can say, hey, I nominate myself for supervisor, I nominate myself for clerk. But they didn't give anybody the opportunity to do that. He only nominated himself and his slate, which was wrong. And I was fighting for my people to get in the building because it was cold outside.
How come nobody stood up to nominate you?
Well, we did. If you watch the tape, I nominated myself.
Is that what you were saying to Napoleon Harris from the board? We couldn't hear you.
Yes. Somebody got it on tape. I had saw the video, and also my team have it on the tape. If you want the footage, we'll give it to you. But he did not acknowledge anyone or anybody's demand. I was the only one that stood up to him. As you guys know, I am a fighter. I would not be bullied. I would not let people do voter suppression. That was the biggest voter suppression I've ever seen. And we talk about history, right? Every time we talk about history, we're talking about people that fought for the right to vote. But yet, they didn't have the right to vote this time. Why? Why is that? Why mute the votes? Why mute the voices? Why mute the residents? I have a problem with that because if he thought he was going to win, he would have let him in. But he didn't because it was my base that was outside because we couldn't get in. He said, and I quote, we are not letting anybody in until 6:30. 6:30 came, we were still outside. So when I finally got in because people let me through the line, that's the only way I got in the building. Other than that, I would have been outside still with the people.
An attorney for Mr. Harris says you were not qualified because you didn't have a certified assessor on your ticket. What do you say to that?
That's not true. How would anybody know that if you didn't give me an opportunity to make my nominations? People can't just assume what they think I have. I have to make the nominations on the floor before someone can say that I didn't have something. That's not true.
All right, y'all. Your girl say it was some election rigging, and Super Mayor say it's voter suppression, and Super Mayor saying she's gonna. I saw another clip that she's gonna file a lawsuit because she's gonna fight back. She say she's not gonna take that. Y'all not gonna get rid of Super Mayor that easy. Like, look, I think she's funny. I think that lady's funny to me. God, that lady's funny. Like I said, I'm not saying put her over the money. and old boy that got accused of essaying old girl in Las Vegas, that dude still back there with her. Like, man, bro, like Tiffany, you couldn't say, hey, man, you're really making me look bad right now. So you gonna have to get away from me, bro, because you got to go. Like, man, well, I guess so, Tiffany. I guess so. You say that, look, Tiffany gonna rock her. I don't know her hair. I don't know if that's her hair or wig. I don't even know. I don't assume that because they got black women that got hair that long and straighten their hair all the time. So I'm not going to assume that's a wig unless I see it. She take it off her head. So it's what it is. She paid for it. It is what it is, right? I don't care. But she was paying for some of her grooming with city funds because I think when it came out, she had paid $7,000. That's why I had laid so much like that. But anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Yeah, she is hilariously delusional, Sister Demetra. She is. So let's talk about your boy, Eric Adams. Now, we covered Eric Adams the other night, ladies and gentlemen. And Eric Adams, he's coming out speaking against the migrant crisis. And some people are saying that, well, you know, it's too late for him to be doing that. I disagree. I'm a firm believer of better late than never. Even when it comes to life, I'd rather you make a change in the fourth quarter than you not make a change at all. That's me. If Brandon Johnson in Chicago will start going against the migrants and saying, hey, I'm going to help Trump get them out of here, I would become a fan of Brandon Johnson overnight because I'd rather say better late than never. I'm sorry. I don't believe in that. They're saying, oh, it's too late. Ain't nothing too late. As long as you got breath in your body and you can move, you can talk, you could do, you walk, you can make a change on a position, political position, a thought process in your head, your life, whatever. Never let nobody tell you it's too late to change. Only God himself is the only one who can tell you it's too late for you, okay? Not no man and not no woman, no child, no nothing could tell you it's too late, because who are they to tell you it's too late to change? They maybe make some changes themselves, you know? So anyway, that's my position though. My opinion, and I'm entitled to it. But a year ago, because some people thinking, oh, he's only doing this because Trump got elected. No. I want to play a video of Eric Adams a year ago, okay? 1 year ago. And I don't know if some of you remember this video or not, but let me cue this video up, because for some people saying, oh, well, he's just recently doing it because he got indicted in Trump and all that. No, that's not true. What, remember this video?
We turned this city around in 20 months. And then what happened? Started with a madman down in Texas, decided he wanted to bus people up to New York City. 110,000 migrants. We have to feed, clothe, house, educate the children, wash their laundry sheets, give them everything they need, health care. And this team here, we stated, let's do everything possible before we have to push it out into neighborhoods and communities. Month after month, I stood up and I said, this is going to come to a neighborhood near you. Well, we're here. We're here. We're getting no support on this national crisis, and we're receiving no support. And let me tell you something, New Yorkers. Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month. One time we were just getting Venezuela. Now we're getting Ecuador. Now we're getting Russian-speaking coming through Mexico. Now we're getting Western Africa. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City. And everyone is saying it's New York City's problem. Every community in this city is going to be impacted. We got a $12 billion deficit that we're going to have to cut. Every service in this city is going to be impacted. All of us. And so I say to you, as I turn it over to you, this is some of the most educated, some of the most knowledgeable, probably more of my commissioners and deputy commissioners and chiefs live in this community. So as you ask me a question about migrants, tell me what role you played. How many of you organized to stop what they're doing to us? How many of you were part of the movement to say, we're seeing what this mayor is trying to do, and they're destroying New York City? It's going to come to your neighborhoods. All of us are going to be impacted by this. I said it last year when we had 15,000. I'm telling you now, with 110,000, the city we knew, we're about to lose.
All right. So that was a year ago, ladies and gentlemen. So no, he just didn't find religion all of a sudden about that issue. And you remember after that video came out and when Biden and Kamala came to New York, they were shunning him. AOC, she was shunning him, right? Because he said that, right? They did not like this whatsoever. Do you remember when the FBI started raiding his people? He was on a plane going to D.C. to go try to go holler at Biden about getting some of the federal dollars because all the migrants was in New York City. And while Eric Adams is in the air trying to fly to D.C., they're raiding his campaign staffers and all these people, right? Not too long after he made that speech, all of a sudden he started, then they approached him, took his phone from him, and then they, put charges on him and all of that stuff, right? Like the moment he made that speech, they were pissed at Eric Adams. So no, this is not just him saying it now or saying it because he got indicted or whatever. And I don't know if you remember that video of Trump when he had said, and I just forgot to pull that video, where he said, yeah, he that guy gonna get indicted. He said a year later, he got indicted. I knew that, So yeah, Eric Adams kind of been on that. Brandon Johnson, on the other hand, in Chicago, no, he's still trying to figure out ways to put up a budget where the taxpayers of Chicago will have to sit up there and pay for the migrant crisis instead of talking to his buddy in New York, because they part of the Black Mayors Association, right? He need to go call his buddy in New York and say, hey, man, like everybody's on my butt here in Chicago about this. I see you kind of turning around to issue, man. We need to talk. Brandon Johnson need to go holler at Eric Adams. Just how I feel about it personally. All right. So the next clip, Eric Adams, from the same press conference, he's going to break down how much money has been spent and what is not being appropriated to the people of New York City. And he's going to say how he was forced to do that. And remember, New York is a sanctuary city. It is, right? So that's another thing. Why didn't the residents of New York City demand that being put on the ballot? We say, hey, let us vote if we want this city to be a sanctuary city or not. I'm pretty sure New Yorkers by now would say, we full, we got enough. Yeah, let's go ahead on in that. Well, let's go ahead and cue this up real quick. Eric Adams, here we go.
Because I really need people. When people stop me on the street, Marsha, and they talk, go to the migrant. When people talking about the migrant, I say $6.4 billion. It's not really resonating. And a lot of people said that, okay, it happened, it's over, we lost the money. And Eric, you said this is going to have a devastating impact on our city. We have not seen the full cost of what this did to us. I came into politics because of an 11-year-old boy that was arrested. He was absent from school a substantial number of times, and the DOE never saw him. He was arrested for a robbery two times. The long-term impact of that $6.4 billion has not materialized yet. We could have spent $400 million on community schools to handle chronic absentees. We could have spent $600 million on 2,000 guiding counselors and social workers in schools, $39 million on summer rise and extended hours for 30,000 children, $22 million on MetroCards for 75,000 summer youth employment participants. $200 million could have gone to 1,000 more police officers. $84 million could have gone to 730 park staffs. And you see some of the other numbers. Go to our agencies. Public schools, $33 billion. 50% of what it costs to run HRA went to this crisis. 50%. The police budget is less than what we spent. The entire NYPD is only $6.2 billion. Fire department only $2.6 billion. The impact of those programs that didn't materialize, we created more of those 11-year-old boys that I saw in that precinct, in the 88th precinct. The long-term impact of what we did to this city is you're going to see it materialize in administrations in the future. They hurt the future of New York City. And when people hear me say $6.4 billion, they may say, well, okay, it's just $1 billion here, $1 billion there. No, we didn't invest in seniors the way we should have, and young people the way we should have. We're not going after get these chronic absentee students the way we should have. The crimes that we witnessed, this impacted our city, and people don't seem to understand, why were you fighting so hard for this? Because I reflected on that 11-year-old boy that was denied, and I went into government to stop these 11-year-old boys, and I came up with a plan to do so, and the federal government made me take $6.4 billion out of providing these services that we all should be angry at what happened to our city under this administration. Boys, and I came up with a plan to do so, and the federal government made me take $6.4 billion out of providing these services that we all should be angry. Federal government made me take $6.4 billion out of providing these services that we all should be angry at what happened to our city under this administration. Federal government made me take $6.4 billion out of providing these services that we all should be angry at what happened to our city under this administration. Federal government made me take $6.4 billion out of providing these services that we all should be angry at what happened to our city under this administration.
Okay, all right. We'll start it over, but I wanted to have him keep saying that he said basically the Biden-Harris administration forced him to spend that kind of money. That's what he's saying, okay? And thank God that woman didn't get elected in office, right? Thank God. And speaking about her, Harris, before we get back into this, word on the street that her and Doug is not doing too well in their marriage. Y'all heard anything like that on the street? Something about maybe splitting up? Something to that effect. I don't know. I'm just kind of hearing that on the grapevine. Okay, so let's get this started over, and I'm gonna stop it and just really get into this.
Green love, because I really need people. When people stop me on the street, Marsha, and they talk. No, go to the migrant. When people talking about the migrant, I say $6.4 billion.
Okay, let's just pause it right there. So, $400 million of New Yorkers' tax dollars $400 million could have went to community schools to handle chronic absenteeism. But the $400 million did not go to that because it went to people who chose to leave their homeland, who chose to leave their flags, because they like to come over here and swing their flags, right? Oh, they love their country so much, but they're not over there. Okay, all right, fine. $600 million could have been spent on 2,000 guidance counselors and social workers in schools. But that didn't happen because Biden-Harris forced Mayor Adams to spend money on the migrants. Okay. $39.2 million of taxpayer dollars could have went on summer rising extended hours for 30,000 children. And that did not happen because they had to spend money on the migrants. Okay. In what country, people look at us like we silly in this country. This is silliness. No other country would do this crap. None. $22 million could have been spent on Metro cars for 75,000 summer youth employment participants. But it was not, because that same $22 million went to men, grown women, and they cheering. I'm going to say it like the old people. They cheering that chose to come here. New Yorkers been in that city. They born and raised there. They pay their taxes there. They send their children to school there, all of that. And yet they had to foot the bill for Biden's migrant crisis that he created. Okay. So let's continue. I want to go to the next slide.
It's not really, Eric, you said back to.
Let me fast forward a little bit. Go to the next one. Give me a second. Give me a second. I want to go to the next slide. He's mentioning.
Going to 1,000.
All right, there we go, right there. All right. So $200 million could have been spent on hiring 1,000 more police officers. You may say that's a lot of money for police, but you have to understand New York City's police department is huge because that's a city of 8 million people. They got to have a huge police department. That's a huge city. $84 million could have been spent on 730 park staff to clean up 340 locations. And if you've been in New York, you know good and well that $84 million was needed in a lot of areas. Come on, listen, I love my brothers and sisters in New York. I get a lot of love out of there, but the city need to work on some of that stuff. $45 million could have been spent on 250 PEP officers to keep parks safe. And it was not, because that $45 million was taken away and given to the migrants. $460 million could have been spent to expand fair fares, okay? And it was not, because it went to the migrants. Now, when black people, if they were just like the migrants, living in hotels, eating food, they'll be called lazy on top of lazy. Notice nobody called them lazy. Folks, I'm talking to you. Notice nobody called them lazy, but let a black man or woman get some welfare food stamps. Oh, they lazy. Oh, they welfare queens. Oh, they this and that and the third. You always got something to say about black folk. And I told you folks, you know what? Hold on, let me get on camera. I want to make sure you look at my eye when I say this. Hold on. I told the folks, listen to me. I'm talking to y'all. I told you a long time ago, it would be cheaper to pay reparations. Because at least if you gave FBA's reparations, that money would go literally back into the economy. It'll be a stimulus for the economy. A lot of FBAs would create businesses, which would create more tax revenue for the city, for the state, and for the federal government. FBAs is not sending money out the country, because a lot of these foreigners, when y'all giving them these cards and money, they're sending money back. They're programmed to send money back, whatever home country. Matter of fact, they are put under pressure by their families overseas to send money back over there. Oh, you gotta take care of your sister. You gotta take care of your brother. You need to pay for his school. You need to pay for her school. Now, in our culture, like, hey, that's your kid. You pay for it. But in their cultures, they have to send money out. And I remember during the first Trump administration, he wanted to ban all that remittance they was doing. He was trying to get there, because he was saying billions of dollars are leaving the United States of America because these immigrants are sending money out constantly out this country. At least with FBAs, you're not worried about money leaving the country in the billions, because FBAs is going to circulate the money in the U.S. economy. Point blank. We don't have no other country to send money to. That's number one. Number two, it would not even cost you what it's costing y'all for these migrants, if you to pay reparations. And I said that to y'all. I said, you gonna pay something. Either give it to FBAs or somebody, and the migrants are draining y'all pockets. Now you want mass deportations, okay? And I'm okay with that, but you want mass deportations because they starting to bother you. They kicking in your doors. They touching your children. That's the reason why you want mass deportations. When you seen the Lake and Riley case, and which was bad, but when you see things like that happening and crimes about these people are committing to y'all, y'all want something done immediately. If they were just committing crimes against black people, and if it wasn't Lake and Riley, if it was Keisha Riley, y'all wouldn't have cared about nothing. Y'all wouldn't say anything. The way these people have always been, they don't care if America is going to hell in the handbasket as long as it don't touch them. Only when it start touching them is when they like, hey, this is messed up. This is wrong. Why did this happen? Why this happening? And we be looking at them as black people like, man, shut your... Why you say that? Because when we was screaming about it for the past 50 years, these things were happening to us. Y'all didn't say nothing. Y'all was gaslighting us like you like to do, right? You start doing whataboutisms. That's their favorite two responses when you start saying certain things. Gaslighting and whataboutisms. And then now when it starts touching you now, we've been telling you about the Democrats for a long time. Or just Republicans too. They doing this, they doing that. Oh, you don't care. But until they start messing with you. See, notice the economy is only bad when they're suffering. When the economy is bad for us, they don't care. The food is horrible now. Oh, the food's horrible. The food been horrible in the black community. Now you want Robert Kennedy to fix it? Why? Because you noticing the food is bad in your community too now? I always told y'all this, and y'all don't listen. First, what they do, they perfect the oppression, affect harm on us first. Once they perfect it, then they bring it to you. And a lot of you act like we live on a separate island or something, like the black people's on this side of the island and you on that side, like the Haiti Dominican Republic thing. We don't live on separate sides of the island. We all live in the same place. That's why when some of y'all complaining, I'm just looking at y'all like whatever, because y'all created the mess. When I say y'all in control of the country. I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican. It's y'all. Y'all in control of it. So I don't want to hear the crying. Y'all the one created the health care, why it's so horrible. Y'all allow the food companies to put all this trash in the food. Do you know, talking about the food, Fruit Loops, one of the most horrible cereals you could ever eat because all the chemicals and food dyes. The same Kellogg's Fruit Loops in Canada, they can't put that in there. And the same Fruit Loops, they use to color it. They use vegetable juice, things like that. They don't put the harmful carcinogen additives in the Fruit Loops that Kellogg's make for Canada. I remember going to, even when I was in Turkey, when I was in, Turkey was very strict, like Sprite. Never forget this in Turkey. It was on like 5 grams of sugar in a Sprite. It tastes so good. The one I had in Turkey. You drink a Sprite over here, it's not even real sugar. And the Sprite in Turkey, it was cane sugar. In America, it's high fructose corn syrup, the worst thing ever for your body. And it's like 40 grams of sugar per serving. That's why you can't drink that crap. And when I say sugar, I mean high fructose corn syrup. So that's why sometimes I don't even want to be hearing them complaining to me, because I'm like, y'all created the problem. Shoot. Anyway, let's continue.
More police officers. 84 million could have gone to 730 park staffs.
Okay. So 755 million could have went on the city FHEPS vouchers to help 10,000 or more families. 755 million. And they did not go to those families because they gave it to the migrants. 102 million on city, let's say FHEPS vouchers for 350 youth. Let's say in need, it couldn't happen because it went to the migrants. Now, if you're looking at the budget, man, New York Public Schools use a lot of money. That's interesting. And then he's looking at, of course, the Human Resource Administration. He said about half, went to that with for the migrant crisis. 6.2 billion. As you see here, the migrants use more than the budget for the NYPD. That's crazy. They use more than law enforcement. Then the fire department, FDNY, 2.6 billion. The migrants got more money than the FDNY. I'm telling y'all. But then they want to get mad at Eric Adams for what he had to say. But this, when he's trying to wrap this up, I'm gonna play this one more time.
You're going to see it materialize in administrations in the future. They hurt the future of New York City. And when people hear me say $6.4 billion, they may say, well, okay, it's just $1 billion here, $1 billion there. No, we didn't invest in seniors the way we should have, and young people the way we should have. We're not going after get these chronic absentee students the way we should have. The crimes that we witnessed, this impacted our city, and people don't seem to understand why.
Okay, now he mentioned crime, right? You know, crime, tough on crime, right? Well, these migrants have been committing a lot of crimes, and they've been allowed to attack cops. They've been allowed to form gangs here. They've been allowed to even have green lights on cops, right? Okay. But what black gang do you know has ever said that? Oh, it's a green light on the police nationwide. Black gangs don't even do that, right? Because they make sure to rule the black people with an iron fist and with the weight of the law. But when these migrants came in here, it was a directive, hands off. Clearly there had to be a directive, because you'll see these migrants doing all kind of crimes. I remember when I seen the video where they had all the migrants on the blade, and I'm like, wow, they out there on the blade like that? And they not getting picked up. Man, you see, I couldn't be a mayor of a city. You couldn't have no blade or none of that around me, because I was my first day. I'm gonna tell you, look, I'm not gonna have no degeneracy in this city, and I'm not gonna have no filth in this city. I'm warning you right now. I'm raiding everybody. So if you're doing your filth, leave now. Because I'm giving you a chance to leave the city. Take that somewhere else. I don't want to see nobody on the blade. I don't want to hear nothing about no illicit massage parlors. I don't want to hear about no drug dealing. I don't want to hear about none of that. If you a gang, I catch you just hanging out on the street. Man, we SWAT team running up on you. You don't even need to be outside. You better take that gang activity somewhere else where nobody can't see you. Because I believe in safety. I believe in public safety. Oh, I believe in it. Kids should be able to go to school in peace. If you a doggone predator, you don't want to be around me, because, you know, I would like the laws changed personally. If it was up to me, I'll take some of them laws from China. Kidnapping, drug dealing, you know, I'm not saying personal possession, but I would say definitely kidnapping, drug dealing. If you out there, you know, touching children, you know what I'm talking about, doing things to women. And of course, you know, when I say we it's not going to be just because you say that. We got to have physical evidence, because physical evidence needs to be, so many people's lives have been ruined on lies. So I always say physical evidence, DNA evidence, all that sort of thing. But if you can get convicted of some of that mess right there, you talking about human trafficking and all that. Oh, no. It is capital punishment. You out of here. And I'm a firm believer, look, you get sentenced today, you better file appeal today. I think you need to be gone in 30 days. Because, and then jail, if it was up to me, you hear all them stories that Fleece Johnson be telling, y'all got too much time on your hands. You up there trying to talk about a booty warrior. You need to be out there chipping rocks. Like Nelson Mandela and them, what they had to do in Robben Island. They was out there busting rocks all day at Robben Island. That's what they need to be doing. Like that's why people say you don't want to go to jail like North Korea and a place like that. Over here, it's paradise in jail. But in other countries, man, you ain't about to be. Ain't none of that. That hanging out and that Fleece Johnson stuff. You ain't got time. Who's talking about cereal? Right? Hold on. You talking about Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Captain Crunch? Y'all talking about cereal in the chat? Yeah. When it comes to stuff like that, accusing somebody, you need to have physical evidence. Like, no matter what happened, you can't just come up here like that Bill Cosby stuff. Oh, he did me something 20 years ago. No. Because if he did you something, you should have went to the hospital, had your kit done, and file a police report, and so they can go ahead and start filing criminal charges, you know, do investigation and criminal charges. I mean, come on. Like even somebody tried to come up on Eric Adams, like saying, trying to sue him, talking about he did me something back in 19, whatever. You're like, I don't even remember that person. No, that's not right. No. You could ruin a man's life off of accusations. In this country, they will ruin you off of accusations. Not that it was proven guilty that you did it, that you know, because they claim you're innocent to proven guilty, but they literally ruin you before. Like if you have a job, you have a business, you have whatever, they'll take everything from you on an accusation. Then you literally got to go sue everybody to get your stuff back. You say 30, look, this is what I'm saying about the 30-day deal. I'm a firm believer in the scriptures. Certain things that God say you had to yield just capital punishment for, right? Do you really want certain people in society? Certain people can't be rehabilitated. When you are sitting up here targeting children, that person can't be rehabilitated. That person just got to go. They got to go. And if you set forth an example of if you do this is you about to go to, it'll have to curb that behavior. You have to have a zero tolerance policy on things like this. You out here, doing what you're doing to women, or you being some other predator out here, or you out here just taking people's lives or whatever. You take a life, you got to go. How you gonna go sit in prison for you sit up here and took the life of somebody heinously, and you gonna get sentenced to life in prison? No. But the reason why they do it is because America is still a plantation. So according to the 13th Amendment, if you are in prison, you can be put into slavery according to the 13th Amendment. So that's why America wants you in prison for the rest of your life, instead of saying you got to go. Do you know, like in certain countries, like they they say, oh, you can leave your wallet right here. And like in places like Dubai and all them places like that, say, oh, you can leave your wallet right there. Ain't nobody gonna touch it. And you come back and nobody touch it. Why won't they touch your wallet? People have the same tendency to steal in every country you go to. But the reason why in Dubai, one of them places, you're not gonna touch nobody's wallet because you know it's about to be some hell to pay if you do. So you see a wallet or something that's not yours, or a cell phone that's not yours, like, yeah, I'm cool. You say, hey, you know who that's for? Like, I don't know. I seen it sitting there. Oh, it's for that guy right there. Oh, okay. That's what I'm saying. Some countries don't have a problem like that because they know it's a consequence. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, all this money and shout out to all my brothers and sisters in New York, right? Because New York City is the top city that support our platform. Every month we look at the numbers and the breakdowns of the cities. New York City is usually at the top. Number 2 is Chicago, always, right? So we get a lot of support from New York City and Chicago. And, even the last time I was in NYC, I'll be walking around and, brothers and sisters run into me and we have great conversations and it's just beautiful to talk to those brothers and sisters. And, one thing I like about New York, you see people from the whole diaspora over there. So I run into some FBAs, I run into some Jamaicans, I run into some, another brother's Ghanaian, I run into some Nigerians, I run into little of everybody. Maybe some of the Dominicans you run into over there. You know you're going to run into New York. It's like the whole we are the world in that one city. It's just interesting. That many people and that many cultures in one city. But, the brothers and sisters that been in New York, and especially, go to a place like Harlem and how they gentrifying that place, you know what I'm saying, which is so wrong, right? I always say, if you ever see them walking around with a dog in your neighborhood, you better believe, or Starbucks being put in your neighborhood, you better believe it's about to be gentrified, bro. Because how is it they feel so safe to walk around in a place you're like, man, you say, I ain't going out there at night. Is this, but all of a sudden, now you see Karen with her little dog, not no big German Shepherd or nothing, not a pit bull, but a little bitty dog. They can't do nothing to nobody, literally, but just maybe nick you, right? She feel comfortable walking around. Why? Because she know that, okay, we coming to colonize. I told y'all, just like in South Africa, just like I told y'all here, they don't come to live with you. They come to get you out of there. And that's really what it is. They don't do it like they used to, with bombing you out and running you out with pitchforks and guns. No, they do it through economic terrorism. And what I mean by economic terrorism, these people got it to a T. So they know what the average median salary is by zip code, right? So all they do, how to get you out, is, well, if people over here is making on average $3,000 a month on average, well then I'm going to put this place to stay over here about $4,500 to $5,000 a month. And when I put this over here, it's going to jack up property values. And if you are paying property tax, then it's going to jack up your property tax because of that building right over there that raised up the property value. And some of the people had to get out of their homes or sell their homes. And while you're there, they have people knocking on your door. Hey, you want to sell your home? I'll buy cash today. And they keep coming to your house constantly, knocking on the door, saying, hey, can I buy your house? You know, are you thinking about selling? You know, I'll pay you today. That sort of thing. Until eventually you cave because you can't afford the property tax no more. Or if you get behind in property tax, what these people can do is literally go get your house from you just by paying off the property tax. So some people are like, man, let me go ahead and sell it to them because I don't want them to get my house just buying a tax lien. That's really how they do it. Same thing in South Africa with Cape Town. They talking about how a lot of black people are being gentrified in Cape Town. They did the same thing. Them folks flooded that area. Cape Town got some beautiful property. Oh my Lord, it's beautiful property in Cape Town. But that would just turn me off about it. It's just them folks have flooded that place, and I'm like, then they want to be racist toward black people. You know, from the stories that I'm getting now. I haven't had none of them do me nothing crazy. But, you know, how some of them are being treated. Or they have black people in a bad area or you know, some of the colored community. They'll have them in the Cape Flats. And the Cape Flats is like, man, look at a documentary about the Cape Flats. How can I think about the Cape Flats? I think the Cape Flats is worse than O Block. I mean, O Block look better than the Cape Flats. I'll tell you that much. It looks way better. But look it up. They got a whole documentary on Cape Flats in South Africa. Look it up. But yeah, and they don't care about gentrifying those people out of anything. And the sad part is you got a whole black president and you won't stop it from happening. That's sad. You said, why has the Phillip Scott podcast content got so short? It used to be 20, 30 minutes long. It just depends on the story. I never case how long it's going to be. I don't know. At least on these live streams, I know how long the live streams are going to be because I say I have 1 hour for the most part to do these live streams. So I don't know. Like I said, I can't answer that question, you know. Mm-hmm. You say a beagle and a chihuahua? Oh, okay. That is an interesting mix. A beagle and a chihuahua. That's extremely interesting. But I will say this much: if Trump and them would do this would help them with deportation. All they gotta do is start offering a cash reward. I don't care if they offered $100, $500, $1,000, right? Let's say even $1,000. And they say, hey, call us and tell us where they at. We coming. And, you have everybody and their mama call and say, man, let me try to get that 1,000. Man, hey, they over here. Hey, man, I be seeing them at Home Depot every day, Ice. You need probably go over there and go hang out. Well, people be calling left and right. It be, you talking about, I thought black people don't believe in snitching. Man, shoot. Some ICE money? Man, black people gonna be telling, say, it's only snitching if you doing wrong and you telling on somebody. That's snitching. Ain't no snitching. No, there's no snitching at all. You're breaking the law. So I got a call on you. You think we're going to have ICE on speed dial? Yeah. Trump need to put the ICE number out and give some reward money out. And you better believe he'll be calling, hey, Trump, they over here. Hey, man, and they need to start, ICE need to start doing some hiring. ICE, you're probably going to need some help. So recruit some FBAs. There'll be a lot of FBAs that want to go work in ICE. They'll trust me. You're going to need some FBAs in ICE. You say it's getting paid. Yeah. It's getting paid. And like I say, it's a lot. Some of, but think about it. When Kamala was running, some of them, they was talking slick, weren't they, to black people? They was talking slick, a lot of them. And now, since Kamala lost, now a lot of them are trying to I kind of see what some black Americans was talking about. How could all of you support Trump like that? And you know how the Republicans are. Like, man, look, you can't mention Trump, Republicans, or nothing, because when y'all thought Kamala was gonna win, y'all thought y'all didn't won now, right? And we've been telling y'all how these good white folks are. We told y'all, but now, like they say, y'all going to F around and find out. And all we're going to do as black people is just sit back and watch and just enjoy the show. That's all that we're going to do. We ain't got nothing to do with that. We ain't got nothing to do with anything. We are good, man. We are so good. Yeah, they crashing out. Man, they so crashing out on TikTok right now. They are scared. They crying. I don't know what's going to happen to DACA people, too. Oh, they really crying. I don't know. He going to get rid of my DACA and I'm going to have to go back. And there's one lady I saw talking about, I did everything right. I graduated valedictorian. I got a master's degree. I got my dream job. And now it could all be taken away from me. And I'm like, it kind of goes back to almost that story with in South Africa. It's almost similar to that, where they said, Chidema was brought to South Africa as a child, right? So a lot of these DACA people came over as children. Their parents brought them over, right? They didn't really choose to come over here. And they grew up in America their whole life. And they never, went back to their homeland. And then, Obama did the DACA thing, right? And we'll see what happens with that. But, I mean, if you knew you had a DACA status, wouldn't you try to figure out a way so you wouldn't be on the DACA no more? I mean, seriously. I mean, I think the quickest people that can get off of DACA and maybe get a naturalization would be a woman, in my opinion, because women could just get married to a man, right? And I'm not saying get married to a man to run game, but I'm saying, like, okay, if you know you're on DACA status and I'm thinking marriage could help you out with that, at least, then would you want to you should be the first person trying to get married. Like, man, I'm trying to get married. I'm trying to get off this DACA. And you young and all of that as a woman, like, and you not trying to get married? You trying to be out here, I'm independent and single and all that. So, okay, you don't have a luxury for that. You don't have a luxury. Your behind should have got married. The first guy that wanted to love your dirty draws, you should say, you know what, let me get married, because I ain't trying to get kicked out of this country. You said it's sad, many migrants in Memphis. You said, me and my homeboy already said, if we can, we telling ICE everywhere they be at. That's funny. Say they telling ICE. Oh my God, that's funny. You say, hold on. Paul says, hey brother, can you imagine if Kamala had won the election? OMG say, thank the good Lord that the lesser of the two evils won. Yeah, I could imagine. I could imagine if Kamala would have won, because if she would have won that election, ladies and gentlemen, oh boy, they'd have been talking so much cash-ish. They'd have been acting a straight fool with us. They'd have been acting a straight fool. And like I said, I want Trump to go to Miami too and start getting them Cubans out. And I ain't talking about the black ones either. I'm talking about them other ones. They don't let the black Cubans too much over here. They keep the black Cubans in Cuba. We talking about them white Cubans, the ones they really think they white. I want Trump and them to go show them who the real white people are. Because some of them be on X talking a lot of cash-ish, boy. A lot of these white Cubans. I say, yeah, I hope Trump. Y'all start in Miami-Dade, start calling ICE on them too when Trump get in office. Say, hey, all you do, these Cubans, these racist Cubans, okay, got something for you. Hey, ICE, they all illegal over here. Come get them. I seen this one sister had me laughing. She said she in Miami-Dade, say she calling. She calling ICE. Oh, man, make ICE great again. Yeah, the gloating. Oh, yeah, the gloating would have been deplorable. You're 100% right on that. They'd have been gloating. Oh, boy, you couldn't have told them nothing. You say you grew up partially in West Memphis. It was only family people in our community. You say it has changed. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and speaking about California, yeah, the Gavin Newsom over there, he wants everybody to come to California, all the migrants, and talking about, that's a sanctuary state. So y'all got to finish. I know a lot of California went red in the next, I think y'all got some elections in 2026. Y'all have to get them Democrats out of California. I'm telling you, them Democrats is going to ruin y'all. Now I know little pockets of California, like the big cities like LA, San Francisco, all them, you'll probably never do that. But at least the rest of California, yeah, y'all need to flip that red because the Democrats have lost their last mind. If y'all want to save California, because California, you got to think about it. Some place in California look like a third world country. Seriously. You go down there on Skid Row, they look worse than a third world country. You bring people from certain countries over here and show them Skid Row, they'll be shocked. I didn't know this was in America. Oh, my God. And that happens because of the politics of California. Everything's too doggone expensive. How people going to live? People get on drugs. Different things happen. People with so much I've never seen people with so much mental illness like I saw in California. A lot of people walking around with mental illness. I'm like, Lord Jesus, these people. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for watching the stream tonight. We really appreciate it. Make sure to click the subscribe button. Make sure to click the like button. It's very, very important. Also, download the African Diaspora News Channel app on the Google Play and Apple App Store. Once you do that, hit create account. Hit monthly, quarterly, or yearly. It'd be great to have at least 10 people tonight join us yearly. I'm always going to start saying that from now on, or even if it's quarterly, we'd like to have 10 people. It'd be great to 10 people to join us yearly or quarterly. Help us try to close out the month and the year very, very good. We definitely thank y'all for listening. We'll see y'all on the next one, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.